Joe Hopkins here, and I'm going to rant today about the real dangers of AI. I'm going to have me a beer. Why don't you crack one too? And we'll have a drink and talk about AI in music, the real danger. What's the real danger? Well, now, I was watching a video that Adam Neely did recently. He's another music YouTuber. Quite a good one, very educational stuff, talking about AI, right? And his thoughts on whether current music AI could pass a musical Turing test. You know, can it jam? And he's of the opinion that no, it can't. But it got me to thinking. He was talking about the new Red Lobster ads, where they have a rather catchy, rather good song, little jingle, done completely by AI, right? And it's a little frightening to me, certain things, because the jingle is actually really good. It's a solidly good commercial, right? The song, the lyrics, the singing, it all sounds really good, actually. As far as commercials go, it's a nice little piece. And it got me to thinking one of the real dangers with AI. There are a lot of songwriters that make a solid living writing jingles and commercials. There are a lot of musicians that make a solid living just as studio musicians. And there are a lot of people that start out doing commercials and jingles and studio work that go on to bigger things. That's where they got their start from. A lot of your favorite bands from the past, those guys started out as session dudes, right? Or small-time songwriters and jingle writers, and that's where you make your bones. It's where you learn how to do this. And it occurred to me, this is going to put people out of work, because companies aren't going to pay for a songwriter and musicians if they don't have to, right? If they can just have AI do it, they're going to just have AI do it. And there are a lot of people that make a living at this. A lot of musicians that are, it's hard enough to make a living at music, but you're taking work away from actual session guys and actual jingle writers and small-time songwriters. You're taking money out of their pockets. And I was thinking that's really kind of messed up, especially because, like I said, some people move on from that. That's where they learn how to do this stuff, and they go on to do other things on their own. And some of our favorite artists from the past, that was where they started out. It's already doing this to writers. I've mentioned before, my wife is a professional writer. It's what she does for a living. She used to write advertisements and blog posts and ghostwriting stuff, that kind of thing. She's done a lot of ads. But if they can use AI, they're not going to hire her. AI has already caused problems for her because the AI detectors aren't very good, and it keeps flagging her as being AI. And a lot of ghostwriting companies want not AI. They want you to not use AI and to get these detectors. And the detectors mostly are scams. They don't really detect AI that well, and it keeps flagging her, and that's been a problem for her. Along with the fact that there aren't as many gigs writing ads, because a lot of companies, bloggers, companies with blogs hire ghostwriters, and they don't want AI. And my wife's getting flagged as being AI. And then companies that write advertisements, a lot of them are using AI, so those gigs aren't even available. And here we are in the music world where you can use AI to write a happy little jingle for Red Lobster. In the past, somebody would have made a couple bucks writing that jingle. And there are some musicians that would have made some money playing that jingle, right? And Red Lobster just manages to use AI and cut all those guys out, right? It's good for Red Lobster, but I think they can afford to hire actual people. But from the standpoint of the company, why hire people if you don't have to? I get that. But it's going to put people out of work. And then if they actually get these AI systems pretty good at writing songs, because that jingle, I listened to it, look it up, it's about their Cheddar Bay biscuits. It's a song about Cheddar Bay biscuits. And I'll see if I can find it, just insert it here.
Red Lobster, you got the magic touch. Cheddar Bay biscuits, I love you so much.
So, yeah, you know, a little bit of that song is, but the whole thing, it's pretty good. And if AI can do that, then maybe AI can write pop songs. Because that commercial is basically a pop song. You write it about a relationship instead of biscuits, and it's not bad. It's a good little tune, right? Now, in general, the people writing pop songs, I've bashed them to a certain amount on this channel, because you just have the same handful of dudes writing everybody's songs, and all the songs sound pretty similar because of that. They're not really stretching out or trying to do anything terribly innovative. They just, you know, they got a cow that gives milk. They're just going to keep milking that cow. This could put Max Martin out of business, man. It can take your job too, dude, because you're not doing anything all that spectacular in the first place. AI can do that now. And that's, you know, I don't like the fact that there's so much shabby songwriting to begin with. The same handful of people writing crappy songs over and over again for pop artists. Now, you can't replace the artist necessarily. I mean, you can, but in general, audiences want to go see their favorite artist perform, so you kind of need a face to put with that voice, right? At least until, I don't know, eventually they're going to have a hologram do the performances, right? Sooner or later, it's just going to cut people completely out of it. But as far as just making music just for the radio, I'm sure that's going to happen, because most people don't even care what they're listening to in the first place. The radio's just background to drive to, you know, playing at work, in the grocery store. It's background crap to begin with. Which is why you have people that can write the same shitty song over and over again, and it actually make the top 40. Nobody cares to begin with. Now AI can do that. They could do completely AI generated songs that just for the radio. And if you think record labels aren't willing or happy to cut out everybody, right? They've already cut out as many people as they can. They have their, you know what I mean? They have all their own in-house people. They hire the same songwriter to write everybody's songs and just hire a singer, more or less, is what they do a lot of times now to begin with. If they can cut out the songwriter, and they can cut out the musicians, and they can cut out the producer, I mean, they already have AI programs that do mixing and mastering. And like when I put out my album, I was looking at the mastering stuff, because a lot of, you know, I think, was it DistroKid and some others have the AI mastering. It doesn't say it's AI, but it is. The mastering, it actually sounds pretty good. It's very, very, makes it sound very well done, you know? I didn't use it. I didn't use it because, one, it costs money that I don't necessarily have to you know, per song, and two, I'll master it myself. Thank you very much. Even if their program does a better job as far as modern sound, I like a certain sound, right? I did the mixing and mastering on my own, but there are programs that'll do that for you. So now you can cut the mixer out, you can cut the the mixing engineer, the mastering engineer, you can cut out the songwriter, you can cut out the musicians. AI can make a whole song. If you're creating an artist that you want to tour, you need a person. But if you're fine with just putting out radio content and, you know, streaming content, you don't even need the person anymore. And I find that really sad. I find it sad because it's hard to make a living in music. And for a lot of musicians out there, these are jobs that are going away. They're going to disappear. Enough artists already don't use bands. When they go on tour, the singer has like backing tracks a lot of times, right? Now, that's not everybody. Taylor Swift had an actual band. I went to see Gloria Trevi. She has a band. Mariah Carey, I went to see her. She had a band, but some of them don't. Some of them just have backing tracks. In fact, the group that was, I forget her name, the artist that was opening for Gloria Trevi just used backing tracks. So, yeah, you're cutting out too many people. You want people, it's good for people to be interested in music and interested in learning an instrument and interested in playing music. But it seems like the only place where a musician can make a living, even close to a living, is on YouTube. And that's mostly doing covers and goofy content, right? Like, look at Stevie T. I love his channel. The guy's, he's funny, he's amusing, he's entertaining. He's a great guitarist. And the bulk of what he does is comedy stuff. It's music-based humor, but it's humor stuff because he can't make a living playing the guitar. It'd be cool if he could, but he can't. He has to be funny. He has to be a comedian. He has to do entertaining, amusing content that maybe includes guitar sometimes, is music-based, but you can't just write songs and play them and make a living at this anymore. And it's getting to be really depressing to me because I'm somebody that produces and releases music. I do music, and it's getting harder and harder to make a living at that. And now you have one more person to compete with who isn't even a person. It's artificial intelligence. I have to compete with a damned robot to try to make a buck in this. And it's really messed up. I don't know what you guys think, but a lot of you who watch my channel are also guitarists. If you live in a town like LA or Nashville, if you're a decent guitarist, you could get a gig working in a studio or going around to studios and just doing basic session work. You would be the guy playing the guitar on Red Lobster's jingle. But now a robot can do that instead. That's one less job you can get. That's the end of my beer. I guess that's the end of my rant. I'm pissed off about it. I'm pissed off not at the technology. I think AI can be a great tool. But I'm a little upset at the companies that just want to cut every human element out of everything to save a couple bucks. And that's obnoxious to me. And of course they're going to do it. But, I mean, what can you do? Just struggle on, learn your instrument and play it for you. I play my instrument for me, to make me happy. And then if I make a buck, great. If I don't, I had fun doing it. And that's how you have to look at it now. It's so hard to make a living at music nowadays. Anyway, yeah, that's my rant. Yeah, if you're interested in my album, I mentioned it. Here in a sec, playlists come up. One of them's called I Didn't Get a Memory. That's my album. And there's a playlist of my rants. You can see my previous rants. This is just one of my many rants because I rant because I'm pissed off about shit. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you guys. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.